Hey, it's your girl, KV, back finally with another, what's this called? This called Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got 2 episodes. We got two. The first one, I took in-depth notes for. Y'all, I feel like it just hit me just now that I did that video. And I don't think I posted it. And I don't think I posted it. So we just gonna do it over. Episodes 5 and 6, y'all. Yep. It's right there. Private. It's right there, private. So by now I just want to do, I'm just gonna do it over. I'm not even gonna post that. We're just gonna synopsis it here with this new episode. This new episode, I watched it a few times, so I remember what happened, but I didn't write full notes. So we're gonna see how this goes. Bear with me, you guys. Y'all know my life. Y'all know my life. Finally, my stitches done finally dissolved from surgery. Pray for that man. Pray for that man. School year ending, getting my baby ready for summer camp and everything. House renovation still happening. I hosted a book club meeting last week, so I was having to get ready for that. I'm hosting a Mother's Day brunch at the end of the month with all of my mothers-in-laws and my mom, my mother-in-law, and my grandmother, making sure the three of them are all free, and then sister-in-law, another mother-in-law, like, making sure everybody's there. So that's gonna be the end of the month. So when I say I have been getting pulled in every different direction, and then on top of that, still being a mom, still being a wife, new work schedules, just, adjusting. So bear with me, but we about to get on track, y'all. We is about to get on track. It's So season 17, episode 4, Dynasty Divas in Atlanta. We start with Cynthia talking about the Dallas trip with the Moolah lady. Moolah. Apparently she from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't know them white ladies. Never watched it. She's meeting with her about the brand, the tequila and everything. And for some reason, Phaedra is there. Why is Phaedra here? I said, Phaedra has so little going on that they just drop her in scenes just for, Stop it. I am tired of it. They trying to get their money's worth. Bravo trying to get their money's worth because Phaedra isn't giving anything. So they're just dropping her in random scenes at this point. I'm over it. Don't bring her back. Bring her back as a friend of if you're going to bring her back. But don't bring her back as a peach holder. They say something about they're going to do a black cherry cocktail. And Phaedra goes, black cherry? Sounds like my vagina. Y'all know I watch the show with my mom most of the time. My mama said, well, why would she say that? Knowing that she got sons that could watch this. And I said, you know what, mama? When you're right, you're right. Because it just made me cringe that she would say that on TV. I don't like it. I got, leave it to me to judge somebody for a dirty joke or something like that with some of the things that I say. But Phaedra, you on TV in front of the world. I'm sure this is dubbed. Your kids is old enough to just flip on and hear you making jokes about your vagina. I cringe. So I know your kids is cringing. Just ridiculous, Jeff. Ridiculous. So they're getting ready to board. They're getting on a PJ. Remember, Pinky and K. Michelle never been on girls' trips. This annoys me because it's like, y'all are the sorority girls. Y'all are literally the two sorority girls in this group. So what you mean you've never been on a girls' trip? As many times as line sisters will get in a car and drive to another probate or drive to this or road trip to boule or conventions and stuff. Y'all don't have none of these experiences. This is y'all's first girls trip at 40-something years old. It's concerning. And not to say that everybody has to go on a girl trip, it's just a thing to do. But as sorority girls, it is hard to believe that you've never been on a girls trip. And if you haven't, it's because you intentionally don't go. Because as a sorority girl, there's definitely plenty of opportunities for you to go on a road trip with your girls or go on any type of trip. Go on a girls trip. A lot of people have so many horror stories about girls trips. And in college, I had a couple, but I've always overwhelmingly had good girls trips over bad girls trips. Like, I don't know. Maybe I got a good little set of friends. And, you know, once I really hammered down and realized, okay, who are you vacationally compatible with? Because that's the thing. Some people go on vacation, they just want to sleep all day, stay at the pool, stay at the beach, read, relax, drink. Don't want to see nothing, don't want to eat nothing. They just want to go somewhere and sleep. It's some people that's going to have an itinerary from sun up to sundown on what you got to do. You can barely shower because they got the schedule so tight. Okay, and then there's some people that's in the middle. I'm in the middle. So you have to realize who you traveling with, how they gonna act, and if they want to come and just do their own thing, let them do their own thing. Everybody ain't got to do everything with everybody. So I like a good girls trip. I'm trying to plan a girls trip now. We gonna have to plan something because all my girls from grad school, my group of friends from grad school, we all live in different places. So we gotta plan something, y'all. But enough about me. Enough about me. Where are their line sisters? I need to check in. Have these heifers really never been on a girls trip? I need somebody to weigh in. So Pinky's just like, oh, I have masculine energy for a woman, and da-da-da-da. This is something different, and da-da-da. All right, girl. Pinky and this long behind prayer on this PJ. God bless the wheels, bless the plane, bless the colonial woman, bless something that there's not telling us, bless the bridesmaids, bless the brides, bless the divorcees, bless the bankruptcies. I'm like, baby, please, hurry this prayer up so we can go. But yes, prayer before we take off because flying with the blood of Jesus. Do you hear me? Throwing holy water on a plane, because what you mean? She is talking about this bankruptcy again, y'all. And it's not that... I get the production clips it and plays what they want us to see. But the amount of times and the length of conversations that she has about the bankruptcy, every time she talks about the bankruptcy, it gives, that's all you talk about. It's giving, that's all you talk about. Because you're talking about this much of your bankruptcy in a group of women who are also going to take part in some type of conversation. So you can't monopolize a conversation to just go down the list. Okay, bankruptcy. Okay, kids. Okay, husband. Okay, business. So it's like, it's not like you can run down the list with these ladies. You got one or two things to talk about before we jump on to the next thing. So yes, I'm getting annoyed with Pinky and this bankruptcy already. She goes through, well, I can't do a 7 in this, and I can't do chapter 11 because this, and 7 twice, girl. She means something. They're talking about bankruptcy, and it's scaring me. I'm just like, the only thing I have to worry about is getting to Chick-fil-A in time to get breakfast. This upset me. Like, okay, I like a good flex when it's applicable. However, and that's all caps, however, Shamia, your biggest worry in life, whether business or not, is getting your husband a son. That's your best business decision right now. You don't need to be worried about no Chick-fil-A breakfast. You don't need to be feigning ignorance. Oh my gosh, bankruptcy. Girl, you about to be wife number 1 and not the wife. Because Gerald finna go find him somebody to give him a son. Now, he African. I think he from one of them ones that they believe in multiple wives. So he might not kick you to the curb, but you're going to have to split this money with some other wives, dear. So that's your biggest thing to worry about. Don't worry about no bankruptcy. You worry about going to find some donor eggs or see, this is the thing. sex is determined by the sperm, right? I can't stand men. God, I'm just... Move on to the next thing, Claudia. Move on to the next thing. But yes, Shamia, that should be your worry. Don't you worry about no bankruptcy. You go worry about getting the boy in that house, okay? Because eventually she says that, it makes her nervous about the rum company and, maybe Gerald wasn't being so hasty about not wanting to do this. Angela is chiming in on the bankruptcy conversation. She lets them know, girl, it's a very invasive process. They be all up in your business, okay? But with my bankruptcy, I lost my own money, okay? I don't owe nobody else. A lot of people was taking that to mean her money and not her husband's money. I mean, no. She was saying, I lost my money to where I didn't have to get no loan. My husband's money is my money. I don't count him outside of our household. I'm talking about I ain't have to get no loan. I don't owe no businesses, nothing because of my bankruptcies, okay? You owe people. I don't. I lost my own money. Period. Cynthia asked K. Michelle if she had a prenup. K. Michelle goes on this diatribe about how anytime she tries to offer Caston anything, he declines. He's not into social media. Just all of this, whatever. She also says that she's tried to catch him up in cheating, but he doesn't have social media. They're all like, girl, relax. And I'm like, girl, didn't you cheat too? Once you cheat too or cheat back, you can't stay hung up on cheating. You have even the score. If you married him, that just means if he cheat, you gonna cheat too. Y'all know what it is. What we talking about? So they asked Drew about her date with Black and if anything happens. She says they just friends, okay? They just friends. But she'll let us know when the wedding is. If it is one. Okay, Drew. Portia mentions that, oh yeah, girl, you was on the phone with him for 3 hours at my party, girl. Y'all must really like each other. Now that we know that Drew was paying Ralph, I'm wondering, did she pay Black for his time? Disgusted. Drew's just like, yeah, y'all, Kay, that's your friend, right? You know him, that's your friend, right? He was like, oh, yeah, so nice, but Kay, that's your friend, right? Kay like, I don't know that man. Girl, I don't know that man. So they stopped for a restroom break, and Shamia tells us that her dad they were in the trucking business. Portia's behind is, it was at the scene where they walking into the house and Portia got that cream dress on, and the back of the dress is ruched, so the way that it curves around her big old donkey booty. My mama be like, her booty just funky. It's just too big. Her booty just funky. That's what mama, her booty just funky. It's too big. Did she get a BBL or something? It's just too big. It's funky. I don't think she got no BBL, but I definitely think she got lipo everywhere but the booty a few times. Anywho, that ass is crazy. Where we at with it? At a peace stop, Shamil tells them that her dad was in the trucking business, and when they would go to nasty restaurants, gas stations, and didn't want to hover over the seat, they would use a cup and pee in the cup and then pour the cup in the sink. Now, I feel two ways about this. Let's go there. I'm not mad at the process of using a cup to pee in, especially if you got like a big gulp cup. You can completely cover what needs to be covered. Great idea. Some of them restrooms is disgusting, and I have definitely held it before because I'm not hovering over these seats. Like, I feel like your cooch will catch something from hovering over a dirty toilet like that. Like, I don't do it. But Shamia, it's the act of taking your hand and digging it up your skirt with this tiny little skirt on. Why you even got that tiny skirt on while you're traveling? I don't care if you is on a PJ. It's the act of demonstrating and just being so crass about it. that just makes me like, I want more for you. I want better for you. That's low vibrational. You see that plate right there? You digging up under your skirt like that, that is low vibrational. I wouldn't dare do that on TV. If I'm drunk and I'm having crazy jokes with my friends, sure. On TV, I wouldn't dare do this. Girl. They get to the house. They see the rooms. It's different little houses. Cynthia gives Pinky the tiny house by herself. Gives Kelly and Shamia the pool house. Because they can't separate. They just love each other so much they can't separate. And lets the other girls, you know, free fall in the big house. Everybody go get the room they want. Now, a lot of people had problems with it because they felt like Pinky should have been in the outhouse with people feel like Pinky and K. Michelle should have been in the outhouse because they knew. That could happen, but I mean, I'm not mad at what did happen. Shamia and Kelly, they don't separate. And to split them up would just be making somebody else miserable. It would be making somebody else miserable, okay? So put them together. What you call them? Ren and Stimpy? Put Ren and Stimpy together in the pool house, outhouse, okay? Ew, the bed has a stain on it. And the bathroom, it was a bit dirty as well. Everything needed a little tap, okay? Bring the stuff back out. Bring the stuff back out, okay? Kelly went to the kitchen. She tried to pour a glass of wine in the pool house, outhouse. And the chef's in there cooking dinner, y'all. I screamed. She was like, y'all doing this the whole trip? Y'all got to cook over here the whole trip. I would be annoyed by that too. I would be a little annoyed by that too. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. Because if he was cooking in the main house and you was in the main house, so we had dinner. Everybody's slowly coming in. We find out that Shamia and Kelly are skipping dinner because they ain't showered because they room dirty. Okay, Michelle's not coming to dinner because her glam is not there, and she's not gonna come to dinner without a beat face if everybody else got a beat face. That made me so sad. Because K. Michelle, even before all of the surgeries, beautiful girl, gorgeous girl. Like, I've seen pictures of her, y'all. I went to the same high school she went to. And it's a performing arts high school. So they absolutely had different pictures up of her, who was it? K. Michelle and Elise Neal. K. Michelle and Elise Neal went to that high school. So there was definitely pictures of, you could easily find a yearbook where you could find some old pictures of them and stuff. So I've seen what she looked like. She's always been a beautiful woman. And then she's had tweaks to her face to literally sculpt herself the perfect symmetrical face. So the fact that she is still insecure about her looks, it is so sad. It's so sad. And then it just kind of made me look at her performance this season through that lens. You're moving through insecurity. You're moving through insecurity. And for that, I will give her grace. I will give her grace. And then I saw the other day online, people were being very critical. And, you know us Memphis girls. Because like I said, I came into this season blind loyalty to my girl. I don't care. I'm a stick beside her. And she's let me down a little bit, but I'm still here. I'm still here. Here. Okay? That's Memphis girls. And I saw Jessica Dime piece from Soldier, I Can Beat Your Ass. But from Love and Hip Hop as well. She was sticking up for Kay and just being like, give her grace and everything. And I was like, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But she's moving through a space of insecurity through this show. And I can definitely see why, because it's the new environment for her. And then you see all of these reports, all of these opinions saying, you're too trashy for this franchise. And so now you got to go and you got to prove a point. And you have to be this pent up, you know, poised lady, because I can't give the people what they think they're going to get out of me. My child home. I can't give the people what they think they're going to get out of me. Like, I can't give them that satisfaction. But at the same time, you have to give us something. Something. Kelly and Shamia, they out at the pool chopping it up with some wine instead of showering and going to dinner. Pinky is relaying the message, and she does have a bit of energy. This scene was very right down the middle. Some people felt like she didn't have no energy. She wasn't giving attitude. Some people felt like Pinky was being so mean. She was being so rude. She was being so mean. She was being so rude. Yada, yada, yada. She had energy, but it wasn't enough to like make me feel away. Like, it was enough for me to probably have made a joke. Like, y'all seen the little the gift where the guy's like, it's a little video reaction. Oh, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9. Like, I probably would have said something like that to like lighten the mood, because you could tell she just has a I guess that's that masculine energy. But I mean, it wasn't enough for me to like, oh my gosh, she's so mean, she's so aggressive. It was a little, but it wasn't like, some people put some people putting too much on it. And she ends up saying she likes her room, and they all like erupt in laughter because they like, girl, we thought you were complaining about your room with all this energy you got. Right. At the pool, Michelle come over with a bottle of Jack. Kelly's crying about her crazy ex-husband because he had a press rally with people holding up posters and pictures of the kids. What? The man is crazy. She needs a restraining order. She needs to get a restraining order for all of the kids, even the ones that's not his. And he should not be able to see those kids until he can prove that he is worthy and capable and sane enough for supervised visitations. Because him threatening to off her in the middle of the courtroom, you can't. I watch too much Lifetime, too many documentaries, okay? Too much stuff. So back at dinner, Jesus. So back at dinner, Cynthia tells the staff after they finish serving them to pack up some boxes and take it over to the pool. Pinky, now she kind of doing the most to me, because she's questioning Cynthia as if Cynthia owes her an explanation about how the rooms were divided. And if I was Cynthia, I would have said, Pinky, do you want to go to the outhouse? Because you can go to the outhouse if you want to. You can. What's wrong? Like, you can trade and you can go there. The questioning is where I was like, now this is where you lose me, Pinky. This is where I get off your train. You explaining how it was and just that it was messed up, cool, whatever. But you thinking that Cynthia owes you an explanation. She can do whatever she want to do. This her trip. This her trip. She gonna put who she want next to her. Period. Makes perfect sense to me. I never understand why people go so hard about rooming situations on these trips. We know how it goes. Most of the time, production gets the homes and they set it up to where somebody has to get the short end of the stick. We know this. And we know that people are going to put the people that they like in the best accommodations, closest to them and things of that nature. So if people harping on, well, she should have put Michelle and Pinky in the outhouse because they're new. No, she should have put frickin' Frack because they're besties. Well, she should have put... It don't matter. She put Shamia and Kelly because they annoying and don't nobody want to hear all that all night. She did everybody a favor, okay? So Cynthia, the thing about it though was, when Cynthia was giving the explanation about the rooms, she was doing all this stuttering, like she was nervous, like she knew she was going to be in trouble with somebody about these rooms. But now she's feeling away because she feels like Pinky is giving her a bit of energy. Like, why would freaking Frack go over there? Oh, okay. Freaking Frack or whack, okay? That's what Kelly has said at the pool. Portia whacked because she had that man sitting at the head of the table with her husband house, and Angela whacked because Phaedra whacked because that's her friend. And Angela was over there talking to them when they were saying this, so she was like, "I know Angela and them big feet gonna run back and tell it. She don't tell everything." And I was like, "Yeah." Essentially, we all knew that was gonna happen. Angela is absolutely the bone carrier while she's here. She's taking up the trope of bone carrier. Some girls are okay with being the villain. Some girls are okay with being the victim. Some girls are okay with being the bone carrier. And she said, "Sheree boo, I got you. I'm the bone carrier now. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the bone carrier now." Thank you for your services with Charles and with this girl. Let me stop. Let me stop. So when Angela ran it back, Phaedra called them. Phaedra was like, "Really? Really? Like, me and Portia are Dom Perignon and they're Andre. Okay, Ren and Stimpy can go on somewhere." And then it showed them running across the yard looking all crazy and cartoonish. I said, Ren and Stimpy was perfect. That's going to stick for me. Ren and Stimpy, child. So Angela is just like, "Girl, why are you attacking Cynthia about this room?" Portia ends up praising Cynthia just to kind of divert the attention to Cynthia. Great job, okay? Don't listen to Pinky. Great job. She's annoyed by Pinky. She feels like Pinky just do too much hammering down to the point. We get it. They asked Portia if she gonna talk to Kelly. She said, "I sent her flowers and she didn't want them. But who we really need to be worried about is Phaedra and Pinky." I said, "Not the flawless redirect. Child, Portia is a vet. Please put some respect on her name." So we back to Pinky talking about Phaedra and how Phaedra says she eat meat, and Phaedra's in a confessional like she need to pay attention to her bills. In confessional, Phaedra said, "Well, I would never even be that casual with Drew to even be like, 'Yeah, girl, she eat meat, girl.'" And they flipped right over to a scene where she like, "Yeah, girl, she had a Jamaican restaurant, girl." Being that casual with Drew. The statement wasn't exact, but you were absolutely being that casual with Drew. So, of course, I'm just like, they exposed Shamia. They exposed Shamia for running it back wrong. And Shamia's just like, dang, Phaedra gonna have me having to do another apology video out here. So insincere. That was so, for her to even say that and in that manner, it was so insincere. And she truly don't get how she comes off. Angela and Pinky get to arguing, y'all. All in all, because I'm sure y'all have seen plenty of reviews and they done already talked about it. Angela won, but Pinky wasn't going. Pinky had some comebacks, but Pinky went low first, talking about looks and everything, and basically calling Angela a man and all that. And it was just like, okay. But what else can you expect out of somebody saying that they don't hang around a lot of females? Okay. At some point in the argument, Pinky gets up and was like, kiss my ears. And it wasn't flat, but it wasn't the roundest butt. It wasn't nothing to call home about. And Phaedra was like, "If you're gonna show me an ass, show me a cunt, show me a I'm like, when you're right, you're right. She acts like she's about to storm off. This is Pinky. Acts like she's about to storm off and then doubles back and sits back down. Meanwhile, the dinner strikers at the pool, they done brought their musty, barefaced selves over there because they done heard all this commotion going on and they wanna know what's going on. They heard all this commotion. Yeah, y'all tried to have a moment. Y'all tried to be over there and make it this for the episode and it didn't work. It didn't work. They still had their moment. They still had their scene. And y'all just look crazy. Not sharing after y'all got off a daggone girl. And so at some point in the argument, Angela's like, "Well, we don't have a live-in wife. We don't have a live-in wife." Pinky acts shocked, but I don't hear her deny it. I didn't hear her deny it, y'all. I didn't. She said that you must be obsessed with my life since you know everything about me. I said, "Oh, so it's true." And then I see online where Pinky is coming out with the Woman in the Basement book. Now, via my track record, I should go up for this because technically it's what candy birds do, in that, oh, you got something to say about me? I'm gonna make money off of it. But in Pinky's case, it just comes off extremely thirsty. It comes off as, ooh, here's my moment. Let me grab it and take it and run with it. And it's like, did we ask for this moment? Is this the moment? Let's type there. Is this the moment? And yeah, she has a book coming out. Do with that what you will. Next episode, season 17, episode 6, Saddle Up and Settle Scores. We see Pinky, since we right there, we see Pinky on the phone with her husband, and she tells him that, yeah, Angela, you know, the tall one, the giraffe looking one, ooh, it's a spot that's still a little numb from my cavities. And that's another reason I couldn't do my reviews when I wanted to. I had to go to the dentist. My mouth was, I couldn't be talking like this, and then Drew would have been coming out. It would have been so, it would have gave Shamia's crassness, okay, not the cute part, the crassness, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that to you guys. But yes, Pinky's on the phone with her husband laughing about, yeah, they said we got a third wife, we got a third wife. No, they said you had a woman in the basement, but where's the second wife if you're talking about the third wife, huh? You telling on yourself, Pinky. You telling on yourself. They're gathering for breakfast. They tell Pinky that she was the one, that she was on one last night, and it was her tone. If we can just take it back, it was your tone. She admits it. She said, yeah, it might have been, but I was trying to defend my friend. And I'm in my head like, wow, the friend that started the meat rumor. Wow. She then tries to shut down the conversation as if it's over once she's done with it. Later on, I can't remember, it wasn't too much of it, but later on when they were kind of revisiting this at lunch, Cynthia points that out. Like, hey, when we try to talk about something that we try to have a conversation, you don't get to just shut it down when you're done and nobody else can talk about it. That's not how any of this goes, okay? So Phaedra had me cracking up. Phaedra and Portia with they beef jokes when it comes to Pinky. I thought she was vegan. Why she got so much beef? Phaedra said, we need to get her some fresher plants. They're all at breakfast, and Shamia again is just being real crass. She's talking about how she had to sleep in the bed with Kelly and she didn't like it, and what if she had to pass gas? Shamia, why must we do this? Why, Ebony? Why must we do this? So Drew, we get to Drew and Shamia. We get back there. Drew says that she never had a problem with Shamia, and, you know, she just don't want her mama jumping in the mess, basically. Shamia is still mad that Drew didn't accept the fake apology. Drew is like, but you said but. And Shamia says, well, I apologize for the but after I said it. Baby, it wasn't sincere. It don't even seem like you were acting like it's sincere, even in this moment. It wasn't sincere. I wouldn't have accepted it either. K. Michelle tells the ladies, you know, Pinky's aggression is really passion. It's really passion, you guys. So give her some grace. And I'm like, I can see that. I can see that. I'm not off of Pinky because she's a little rough in general. Pinky in this bankruptcy, I just want her to have another talking point. I need y'all to pull some more conversations out because it's making her unbearable. Just talking about this bankruptcy every time we turn around. Every scene, you talking to everybody but your husband. I'm over it. Okay. We see K. Michelle, Portia, and Phaedra are all taking pictures in a little country western attire. Meanwhile, Angela is dressed for brunch. They get on the Sprinter. They're going horseback riding. They over there having fun, dancing, having a good time, taking shots. Meanwhile, in the other Sprinter, Cynthia, Kelly, Shamia, and Drew, they over there fussing and arguing. My God, today. Cynthia is fed up with their complaining. This was another like very dividing argument because some people feel like Cynthia was being sensitive. She was doing too much. They want to complain about the room. They can be mad about the room. Some people feel like y'all need to be quiet. Y'all still complaining. Y'all still complaining. Okay, so there's that. There's that. I'm in the middle. I see both sides. I see both sides. If I'm Cynthia, I don't want to hear, if we on this trip, I don't want to hear you constantly talking about the room ain't clean, the room ain't clean, the room ain't clean. You got a clean room, whether it be the one you initially, you got accommodations, and that's supposed to be getting fixed. So shut up. Shut up. So I ain't mad at Cynthia for wanting them to shut up because it was being draining. And they're just Debbie Downers anyway. I can't do it. People that just complain and they're just down all the time. I just can't do it. I'm too much of a bubbly personality. I'm too much of a cheerleader type to deal with someone barely opening their mouth to say something like. So they over there, they just going down the list of everything. Well, the room's supposed to be clean and this and that. Cynthia, we know it's not just a phone. Kelly ends up saying that you would at least want something that's comparable to your real life and what you got at home. Drew said, Drew, is something wrong with your neck? Drew said, well, first, girl, it was about the cleanliness of the room, and now it's about how nice it is. Girl, look, you got accommodations. You had a good night's rest. You look gorgeous. She said, you look like the alien from your movie. Kelly, that was something my 5-year-old would say to me. That is something my literal 5-year-old would say to me. Drew gets to talking about Black, and she says she loves him. Cynthia said Ralph gonna have to get out the basement. Oh man. On either bus. Oh, so K Michelle is making the most out of the situation with Drew. She's claiming that, oh, Drew was pointing at me, and I'm like, girl, don't point your finger at me no more. And she's trying to imply that I slept with Black like I'm not a married woman and da da da. Girl, who said you slept with him? Now you telling on yourself. Are you telling on yourself, Kay? She says, listen, he be salivating over my delicious cakes that I bake. That's it. Okay. So when they get to their destination, they just literally watch some cows walk down the street. Watch some cows walk down the street. Now, this might be rich coming from somebody that's from Memphis, where we have a whole hotel where the main attraction is some little ducks coming out of the elevator. Some ducks walking on red carpet. So it might seem real rich coming from me. But let me tell you something. Those ducks were way more entertaining. Those ducks are way more entertaining than those cows. I'm just saying. Those ducks run. They got little tricks. They go in circles. Those cows look like they might shit on your foot. I said, Cynthia, what is this? Cynthia, don't let her have no more trips. Take them to see some cows walk down the street. That's like, and they in the car, and she's like, oh, we're going to be late. They only do this 2 times a day. I don't know what's going to happen, y'all. We might not even see it. I don't know what I was expecting, but some cows walking down the street. And they said like they was driving for a while. Child, bye. At some point, I don't even remember when and how this happened. Hold up. At some point, Drew and Shamia said they got the same blood type, and they end up having a joke about the blood type. Shamia's like, girl, I might have to save your life. I might have to give you some blood. Drew said, you might have to save my life. In confessional, Drew said, if Shamia had to give me blood, she would tell everybody that she gave me blood. She would be twerking on the blood. Drew had me laughing. She be twerking on the blood. They're going back and forth. They end up trying to call a truce, but it doesn't really work out. They stand up like they finna hug, but they kind of start arguing in the middle of just standing there. So Cynthia is like, hey y'all, we in public. Sit down. Sit down. They don't sit down. So the other group of ladies, they go see a horse. They're supposed to go some horseback riding. This was so funny to me. Phaedra's talking about she rode dressage growing up. She rode dressage. She rode dressage. They over here looking at the horse, talking to the horse, learning about the horse. And the horse bucks up at them. Bucks up, y'all. And they get to running, and Phaedra is right by this wood plank, so she falls over the wood plank. It was all types of crazy. And then they had the nerve to ask them once they finna get on the horse. And everybody online, like, they so boring, how they gonna go horseback riding and not get on the horse? Baby, this horse just bucked at us for standing here. Why would I get on his back? Why would I get on his back? He don't know me, and he already made it known that he don't want to get to know me. I wouldn't have got on that damn horse neither. The fuck? Cynthia, okay, they're having like wine, right? Why they got them having wine in the middle of the barn? K. Michelle said it's like having lunch in the bathroom. Basically, right here next to a cow's ass and the shit, I can still smell it. That was weird to me. That was weird to have it right there in the stables type deal. Cynthia, no more planet trips for you. We've had enough. We've had enough, okay? And then, also when they go out to eat after seeing the cows walk down the street, Pinky looking through the menu trying to find her something to eat, baby. It ain't nothing for them to eat. It ain't nothing for her vegan self to eat, really. And so, she's like, I guess I had some fries. Cynthia gonna say, woo, girl, that vegan stuff not for the weak, child. And I feel like this moment had to be like, girl, it wasn't no salads on the menu. You couldn't get no green beans and stuff. Some people feel like, well, vegans shouldn't have to be regulated to side dishes. They can't eat no vegetables? How you a vegan and don't want to eat no vegetables? Come on now. So, Cynthia, they get back. Cynthia is in there taking a drunk nap, child. She's still in her same clothes. Feel like she still had her shoes on and everything. Outside clothes on the bed is just, especially on the pillows. You put in your back and booty that's been sitting in public on the piece of the bed where you put your face and touch on it. It's upsetting me and my home girls. So she's taking her little drunken nap. Drew comes in looking beautiful. Beautiful girl. Gorgeous girl. And why Cynthia nipples slip out? Drew was so excited. She feels fully initiated into the group at this point because we know that Cynthia and her nipples, they reading people. And then they give us a montage of some, not even all, some of Cynthia's nipple slips. Because if they showed the one on the boat when Kenya was driving the boat, Cynthia, my baby don't believe in double-sized sticky tape to save her life. She always got them girls a wind's blow from being exposed. Okay. So she and they're talking. What they talk about? They was just talking about Shamia and Kelly and how they feel like it's something deeper going on. Blah, 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 blah. Drew had me cracking up because she starts imitating Shamia's twerking and jumps on top of Cynthia and starts twerking. I be liking Drew. Drew get on my nerves sometimes. But overall, I like Drew. She carries her own. She really was the only one who survived the reboot. People forget that. Like, they got rid of, like, everybody but her. Or everybody left and Drew stayed. They could have just got rid of Drew, too, and been like, we'll start all the way over. No, Drew survived. And she's usually the topic every season. You got to give it to her. Cynthia, no. Kelly is grateful. I might have to rewatch this part. Okay, I'm back. I had to rewatch that last part in the limo because I couldn't remember nothing. I can remember how none of that went. Okay, now I got it. Y'all, Cynthia with that drunk nap disgusted me because she got fully under the covers. She was fully, completely folded under that cover. After you've been outside, sitting in multiple public spaces, playing with cows, and you went and got in the bed. Didn't change. I would have at least, if I was tired and I was going to get in the bed after that, I'm just taking the dress off. Whole dress coming off, throw it to the side, and I'm just going to snuggle. At the very least, I'm taking off the clothes. For me, I'm going to want to take a shower after I done played with some cows. But at the very least, I'm taking the clothes off. I was so disgusted. We see the other girls riding back, and they say something about Shamia. I really can't remember what it was. It was just kind of like a passing by type of comment. And K. Michelle says that essentially she is blind to the bull because Shamia is finding chocolate and that's her type. She gave for the holiday, and Shamia need to come around Christmas, okay? And she ain't canceling Christmas on Shamia. She gave for the holiday, and that's who she want, okay? I said, Lord, not the holiday. K. Michelle had me cracking up with that one. So they're on the limo, all getting ready to go to dinner, and they're basically saying something that they didn't know about each other, or somehow they're bonded, something like that. And everybody's going around. K. Michelle says that she didn't know that Phaedra was actually nice. She didn't know that she was actually nice. And in her confessional, she says that at the airport, Phaedra knew all these white ladies, and she was just so amazed. She couldn't believe it. Shamia, everybody's kind of going around. Portia is talking about how the girls that went horseback riding, they really bonded. They had a good old time. And Cynthia said that she wanted them to get close, and it worked. They are bonded. I said, well, that's good. That's good. Everybody's on the up and up, having fun, doing good memories. And Shamia dampens the mood. And she's bringing up how K. Michelle struggled with women in the past, talking about the love and hip-hop ladies and stuff. Okay, girl. Kelly is grateful that everyone came out to support Nana's Chicken and Waffles second location. Angela messy behind gonna say, who all was there? As if she wasn't. You know who was there. And Pinky like, yeah, who wasn't there? Who wasn't there? I said, monkey see, monkey do head. But wasn't both of y'all there? So y'all know who was there because both of y'all was there. They're annoying. Portia's like, I wasn't there, but I said flowers. And Kelly starts fussing about support is more appreciated than flowers. Girl, y'all are not friends. All last season, you was on Portia's head. Why you sleep with that lady husband now? But why she sleep with that lady husband now? Even this season, Portia need to stop trying to sleep with everybody's husband. So why she gotta support you? That y'all not friends. Y'all not friends. They argued about who slept with married men, and Portia is arguing that she has not slept with a married man. Portia, your husband was married. April, you're a pair. That's how. Portia, he was married. What are you talking about? Now Kelly brings up R. Kelly and how Portia slept with R. Kelly. And I was like, this is real weird because you could have just said Simon. Simon was obviously married when they got together. Fallon was probably already pregnant, but he was still married. Like, you absolutely did, Portia. Like, Portia and her pretty privilege, it is something astounding. And I'm not gonna lie, I fall victim to it sometimes too because she's great to look at. Great to look at. When they sent her home on Traitors, the way they were depressed and they were after Ron for like 3 eliminations for sending Portia home. Because they was like, she wasn't a traitor and we sent her home. She was the best something to look and laugh at that we ever could have been around. So yes, the pretty privilege, it does what needs to be done. Okay? It is a spell. She is a siren on you fucks. Okay? She is. But it ain't gonna work for this. We know that you slept with that man while he was still married, girl. We saw it. It was on. Man, gotta pull out the Cardi B at this point, because, girl, what? We all know. We saw it. We were there. Portia's like, thanks for the sale. She must have read my book because she talking about the R. Kelly thing in her book. Portia then threatens to name the man who Kelly allegedly slept with because you took off your panties after that plane because you slept with that man. He was a married man. I'm like, took off her panties? Like, what is happening? I did take off my panties and take a shower. Huh? What is... How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. And as if it isn't crazy enough, they said, hold my beer. Because now Kelly is like, you done effed and scissored everything in Atlanta. And Portia's comeback is, you tried to scissor me. Sir, ma'am, now this is hard to believe from Portia because it's given when she tried to accuse Candy of something. That's what it's giving. And we know that you lied on Candy. So I'ma just, for now, I'm on the side of you lying. Now, I don't put it past Kelly because Kelly absolutely acts like if she could crawl up in Portia's cooch and just be covered in her essence to be that girl, she would. She would. But the way Portia's track record, it just doesn't check out. It doesn't check out for me to just readily believe this. But yeah, y'all, that is the episode. The episodes. Watch out a little bit. The episodes. What? I ain't even opened no doors. It must have came through up under the door when they came home. Nothing gonna fly because that just looks big. Like I saw that joint. So make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all think. Put y'all comments down below in the comment box, okay? Let me know how y'all feel about this episode. We're gonna see about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I might do it after this next episode comes out. So I might just kind of do a catch up and then this next episode, because this last episode I liked it. I could talk about that and not be like, huh, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Because some of the episodes I'm like, I wouldn't be enthusiastic reviewing it, so I ain't even gonna do it and be bored reviewing it. So yeah, y'all, maybe Love and Marriage Huntsville coming up next. Bye.